All right, y'all still sleep. Y'all don't want to come up. Let's move right along to the next story. Now, this is also what is trending recently. A lot of people have been talking about this as well. So if you guys remember, I did a story on Romeca months and 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 months ago. Basically, she was the woman on the right was dropping off her son to school, and while right after she dropped her son off to school, she had an altercation with her baby daddy's new baby mama. The new baby mama shot and killed her, and this was like 1 block away from the school. And she at first was not arrested. She said that she was licensed to carry. I'm licensed to carry. I'm licensed to carry. And she said that she was licensed to carry, and the police originally did not arrest her. Then, after, I guess, an investigation, she was arrested and she was remanded to jail. Now, as of a couple days ago, she was granted a pre-trial release. All right. So at first she was held in jail, and her bond, I believe, was originally revoked, but now she has been granted a pre-trial release. So let's see what's going on here. So it says the woman charged with fatally shooting a mother outside a South Loop school last year has been granted pretrial release months after a judge initially denied her request. Credasia Holly Johnson appeared in court Thursday, where a Cook County judge ordered her released while awaiting trial under certain conditions. Johnson will be placed on 24/7 electronic monitoring. She must surrender her passport and firearms owner's identification, I guess her FOID card, and is prohibited from leaving Illinois. She is scheduled to return to court on August 11th. So, the backstory: Johnson was charged last year with first-degree murder and 5 additional felony counts in September 2025 in the shooting death of 31-year-old Romeca Blackman. Prosecutors said Johnson shot Blackman shortly after Blackman dropped her son off at school near Cermak Road and State Street in Chicago's South Loop. Authorities have said Johnson was licensed to carry a gun at the time of the shooting. Johnson has maintained she acted in self-defense, telling investigators she feared for her life. Her attorneys argue Blackman had threatened Johnson through phone calls, text, and family members before the shooting. They also told the court that Blackman allegedly threatened Johnson's grandmother, saying she intended to kill Johnson. All right. It says the defense further argued that Johnson was pregnant at the time of the shooting and had previously obtained an order of protection. Johnson's attorney had reportedly sought her release on home confinement or electronic monitoring while the case moves through the court system after an early request was denied. Defense attorneys also point to evidence they say supports Johnson's account, including 911 calls and surveillance video that they contend contradicts portions of the prosecution's versions of events. So this case remains pending, and Johnson's release does not affect the charges against her. She is expected back in court on August 11th for her next hearing. So I just wanted to also update you guys on this, because this is something that we heavily covered on my channel as well. There was a lot of people divided. There were people who felt as though Holly should be charged and go to jail. And then there were people who felt like it was self-defense and they felt like she should not be in jail. So it is important to note that she's pregnant. So it sounds to me like a big portion of this, although they have surveillance, could be attributed to her being pregnant and them allowing her to go and, like, not be in jail while pregnant or whatever. But we shall see what happens moving forward in the case. Like they said, the next hearing is in August. Somebody said, how did the attorney lie about a pregnancy if she had a she's not pregnant? I thought she was pregnant. Y'all saying she not pregnant. The news just says she was pregnant. What's going on? I don't know. I thought she was pregnant. I don't know. Y'all confusing me now. I thought the girl was pregnant. Y'all saying she ain't pregnant. I don't know. Child, we'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. What? Why do I keep getting? What is beeping? All right. So let's go to the next story. Let me see where. Okay. All right. So this was a disgusting story. These people right here, they had 16 children living in filth and squalor. Okay. So these individuals who look like they should be on a movie episode of The Hills Have Eyes. Okay. They were arrested for being filthy animals and leaving these kids in utter filth. So, this right here is some of the conditions of the home where 16 kids were living, right? And this is just crazy. Crazy. Filthy, nasty mess. Ugh. You see the bugs just skedaddling. All right. So it says on June 30th, 2026, law enforcement officers in Ohio accidentally uncovered a severe case of child neglect while executing a search warrant for an unrelated investigation inside a rural home in Hamden, a village in Vinton County. Authorities discovered 16 children living in squalid and highly dangerous environments. The children, whose ages range from 18 months to 18 years old, were found confined to a single 12 by 12-foot room. State officials later described the scene as a house of horrors, noting that the home was filled with human waste and insects, and stating that livestock are typically kept in better conditions. The physical and developmental conditions of the children was critical. Many were described by officials as almost feral, with several unable to speak or write. The situation was so dire that 7 of the children required immediate hospitalization, including 2 who were airlifted to trauma centers with 1 in critical condition. Medical professionals and authorities noted that a delay of even 24 hours in finding that the children could have resulted in multiple fatalities. Following the discovery, law enforcement arrested 4 adults living in the home. The parents, Gary, Elizabeth, along with the grandparents, Gary Sr. and Christina, were each charged with 16 counts of second-degree felony child endangerment. All four individuals have entered pleas of not guilty to the charges. The 16 children are now safe and have been placed into the temporary custody of Child Welfare Services, where they are undergoing intensive medical and therapeutic rehabilitation, because Benton County is the smallest and one of the poorest counties in Ohio. The state government approved 1 million in emergency funding to help cover the immense cost of the children's long-term care and recovery. So, this is the face of these deplorable individuals that had these kids living in squalor. Now, I don't know if drugs were involved, but they look like crackhead meth heads to me. And I'm happy that the children were saved from these thugs and put in better care. Um, and hopefully better care, because as you know, sometimes the system has children sometimes in worse care. So I hope that the children were placed in better care. Um, because if you guys remember, there was a story out in California, not too far from where I live, where there were kids who were held in captive. The parents had went to jail. The kids were placed in foster care, and then the foster care abused the kids too. So it's just hopefully that they're placed in better care. Let's see what else is going on. Child, it's been a whole lot of going on with this lettuce. They say the lettuce is giving people all kind of explosions in the bathroom. Hopefully